Alright, so, long time no see. Now I know, it's been a cool minute since I last uploaded on this channel, and I would like to genuinely apologize for making you all wait for some juicy, scrumptious content. What can I say? I procrastinate. I'm a procrastinator. Add TikTok, work, and some secret projects, and you got yourself a 2-month video delay. Anyways, I was planning on introducing this series with Evil Dead Rise and Guardians of the Galaxy 3, but I feel like I waited too long to talk about those movies to go into depth about how I felt about them, so I'm just gonna keep it bleak. Trash. Amazing. Now with that being said, welcome to Double Feature, a new series on my channel where I'll take 2 movies that have recently come out and review them in one video. Now these movies are movies that I'm interested in seeing for the most part, but if you guys want me to talk about any other movie that's come out, let me know in the comments. Anyways, let's not hold you guys up for too long and get into the video, with our stars of today's double feature being Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse and Transformers Rise of the Beast. Good God, why are those movie titles so long? There's only one word to describe this movie. Amazing. Actually, no, another word. Beautiful. Actually, no, scratch that. Awesome. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse has raised the bar for animation in the movie industry. From the small details of there being 2 different versions of the movie, to the voice acting, to the cameos, this movie is perfect. Okay, not perfect, but it's still really good. Speaking of not perfect, let's talk about the one thing where this movie misses the mark. The pacing of this film it's bad. The first 30-40 minutes of the movie spends most of the time catching us up with Gwen and Miles' lives after the events of the first film. Now that's cool and all, and the movie wants us to be as connected with these characters as possible, but Jesus, the storytelling is slow. Now this is just a small thing I didn't like about the film, so I'm not really going to hold that against it. One thing I realized after rewatching the movie is that it's far from your average superhero film. It's formatted differently. I mean, come on, the second and final battle in the film are back to back. The MCU and DCEU could never. But I also feel like this hindered the third act of this movie. You know, the part where Miles escapes the Spider Society and everybody goes and does their own thing. Miguel forms his own team to search for Miles. Gwen is trying to find Miles, yada yada, you know, you've watched the movie. The movie feels like it's just autopiloting itself to the end. Almost as if they ran out of ideas for this movie and saved them for the next one. The ending just kind of feels abandoned. Another thing I didn't like about this film was Jessica Drew. I feel like she was super underutilized, especially the way they were marketing her. Now, to be fair, she was pregnant, so I don't expect her to be doing anything crazy. And also, I think I have a gripe with generic authoritarian characters, so that kind of adds to the reasons. Anyways, enough with the bad. Let's get into the good, starting with... The characters of this film are honestly pretty good. Each of them has a personality. They aren't bland or boring, Jessica Drew excluded. And it seems that they each have a mini arc within the story. Miles is trying to learn how to balance his life of being a Spider-Man with his normal school life. Gwen struggles learning how to fit in with people and be accepted by her father after becoming Spider-Woman. Miguel has to deal with the grief of losing his entire family and keeping himself together in order to save the multiverse. Spider-Punk wants Miles to rebel against the Spider Society because he knows it's just a bunch of BS. And Peter B. Parker just wants to be a dad. There are definitely more arcs that are being played out within the movie, but those are just some that I found as of this video. My favorite character of this film was definitely Miguel. I really like how they made him a semi-antagonist of the film, and I feel like it was pretty unique to me because he isn't established as a bad guy. His ideals just conflict with Miles, which just makes him a threat. Miles is also super likable and relatable in this movie. I like how his arc was basically him learning how to fit in. I'm assuming that Miles was about 16, 17 within this film, and I find him wanting to find himself and learn how to balance life to be super relatable. He's slowly stepping into adulthood, and I think it was super cool of how him not wanting to fit in with the Spider Society by saying he was going to do his own thing, and him balancing his life with his parents was basically ways of him building his character and who he wants to be in his adult life. I'm going to be as surface level as possible with the animation because I'm pretty sure you guys have already heard what I'm going to say. It's beautiful. You can tell that this film was just a love letter to Spider-Man and Spider-Man fans. Every multiverse is animated differently, with Gwen's universe taking on the colors of a mood ring, Spider-Punk's universe is rebellious and chaotic, and Spider-Man India's universe is filled with vibrant colors. Even when Spider-Punk is with the group, his animation is constantly changing, which just fits his character because he doesn't fit in with society. Also, a detail I noticed about his animation was whenever he was in line and basically just chilling, we could see his actual suit colors, which basically established that he unified himself with the team. Across the Spider-Verse was a pretty good film in my opinion. Now, was it better than the original? No. But honestly, why am I comparing them? They're both building to be one of the greatest trilogies within cinematic history. The characters are fun, the story is slow, but exciting, and the villains are intimidating and not over edgy. Overall, I'd give this movie a 9.5 out of 10. Transformers Rise of the Beast was missing Michael Bay. But by all means, am I not going to hold that against the film? Just like with Spider-Verse, let's talk about what made this movie good and what made this movie... This may be a hot take, but one thing that this movie missed was with the fight scenes. Now let me rephrase that. What I mean, the first and second battles of this movie they're just not good. Comparing to the high-packed action non-stop explosion overdose of the Michael Bay films, I can say that the Rise of the Beast fight scenes are lackluster, and dare I say, watered down. One thing I liked about the Bayverse films was that the Autobots in those films were no pushovers. They all knew how to kick ass and hold their own against the Decepticons. The Autobots in this film, on the other hand, if your name wasn't Optimus or Bumblebee, you were kind of a jobber. And I know what you're thinking. Tylen, what about Mirage? Mirage was funny and a real highlight of the film, but let's be honest, he got his ass kicked for most of it. With being the only Autobot with abilities, I think he would have utilized it more during his fight with the Terracons. Most of the fight scenes consisted of them standing in front of each other and shooting the world's weakest guns. Like, why not have RC fight Nightbird in a female robot fight? Hell, in the final battle, they literally smash into each other, but we don't get to see that. Why not have RC have an acrobatic fight style? Let us see her flip around and go toe-to-toe with the Terracon. I would have expected this movie to have Bumblebee-like fight choreography, where it has the remnants of the Michael Bay movies, but is more simplified and condensed to the point where we can tell what's actually happening. Like, look back at Bumblebee's final battle, or hell, even the first battle, and tell me that wouldn't have been cool to see in this film. The formatting and marketing of this movie was just weird to me. Now, this is just a tiny critique, but throughout the movie, Bumblebee is dead. We see him die within the first 30-40 minutes of the film, and it's not sad at all. But don't you worry, he comes back to life towards the end, but it's not surprising in the least. It's cool and all, but I can't say it was a feel-good moment. But do you want to know why it wasn't a feel-good moment? It's because they showed his death in the fucking trailer. Like, come on, man. You can't expect me to think he's dead if you yourself didn't care enough to hide it from the audience. The underuse of the Autobots is criminal, man. I hate how the trailer played it as if they would essentially be the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, except with robots. And what I mean by this is like just having a family dynamic. They all just seem like co-workers. The only Autobot that captures this dynamic is Mirage, but even then it's like he's carrying it on his shoulders. I would have loved to see more banter and conversation between them. Hell, not even between them, even with the Maximals. These are two factions that have never met each other before, and you expect me to believe the only two that were interested in knowing each other were Prime and Primal? There's a point in this film where RC is riding Rhinox in the battle, and I think it would have been so much cooler to see Rhinox talking to RC during the downtime of this film. To be honest, I would have loved to see more RC. Her voice actor was perfect for the role. She seemed super fun and quirky within the trailers. I still can't believe they took out the scene where she's waving at Dominique Fishback's character. And her motorcycle handles are her f***ing pigtails. I mean, come on, how do you fumble such a cool looking character? Alright, enough of ripping this movie. Let's get into the... Anthony Ramos is a charismatic dude, bro. I don't know what this man's technique is when it comes to acting, but it's working. The dynamic he has with his brother is nice. I myself, having a little brother, found this to be super relatable, and maybe that's why I like him. His chemistry with Mirage was super good. I actually felt his frustration when Mirage, quote unquote, died. His anger felt believable when he and Optimus were fighting Scourge. Overall, just a good actor, man. I'd love to see him in the sequels. Optimus is probably the best he's been since Age of Extinction. Yeah, I said it. As bad as that movie was, when it comes to live action adaptations, that's the best character we've seen out of Optimus until now. I like how the movie actually gives him an arc of regretting leaving so far away from Cybertron. Peter Cullen's voice acting is a bit stiff, but like, he's an 80-year-old man. Like, what more was I expecting? I'm just happy to see him having a good time voicing this character. Also, for the next movie, let's get rid of his hand cannon and give him his rifle. Honestly, now that I think about it, I think everyone had a hand cannon. Except RC. God, why did you underutilize this character? I'll stay bleak with Dominique Fishback's character. She was super likable, and that's surprising because I usually hate sporadic, awkward characters, but like, she's so talented that she made it work. That's another thing about this cast. It's super talented. I like it a lot. Scourge was a pretty intimidating guy. I wish we would have saw more of him, to be honest. Maybe seeing him fight some of the Maximals in the final battle. He also has an interesting backstory, and I can't say that I cared that they didn't go into detail about where he came from, because from the jump he was already pretty intimidating, and that had me interested. Also, his theme song is hard. You guys need to go check that out. Overall, Transformers Rise of the Beast was a pretty solid film. Again, I just wish it still had some presence of Michael Bay in there, just because of how unique it was, but to be honest, that's probably just the nostalgia talking. With all my gripes of the film still standing, I definitely have to give it an 8 out of 10. It's still an absolute fun watch, but I hope they look at some of the criticism of the film and fix it for the next couple of films. G.I. Joe might be a problem. Alright, and that was the first episode of Double Feature. I know it has been a minute since I posted. Well, it's only been a month. Well, 2 months if you want to count when this video is going up. Anyways, it's been a minute. And with me just now starting this YouTube stuff and trying to do put full effort into editing and my thoughts and stuff and actually type out scripts for the videos, I'm starting to realize it's very time consuming. And it gets in the way with my real life stuff. But yeah, eventually once I get the hang of YouTube, I'll learn how to balance that all out and you guys will be getting more content. Now I want to address this one. A lot of you guys would like to see me fix Dark of the Moon, but I don't really think I want to do that one because I actually like Dark of the Moon and I don't have a problem with it. And I bring that up because another How to Fix is coming out with How to Fix Mortal Kombat 2021. And I'm soon going to start getting to work on How to Fix Thor Love and Thunder. And again, I don't really have a release date for those videos. Again, they take longer to make than these. But speaking of these videos in general, like Double Feature, our next Double Feature will be The Flash, and another movie that came out around that time as well. I'm either thinking Extraction 2 or Barbie, but I don't want to wait that long for Barbie to come out. I know I'm not doing Indiana Jones because I haven't seen the other 4. But you know what? You guys will see. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you guys have seen these movies, let me know your thoughts down below. What did you think about them? I know I have a lot of Transformer fans on here. Let me know what you guys thought about Rise of the Beast. Do you think the future of Transformers is looking bright or is it looking dull? Personally, I'm an optimist, no pun intended. But I definitely believe there's hope for this new reboot. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and make sure you subscribe. Subscribe or, I don't know, we were just on the topic of The Flash. Subscribe or Ezra Miller will be under your bed tonight. And some of you guys may like that. Personally, I wouldn't like that. So if I were you, I would subscribe. Or if you were me, you would subscribe. I think. In other words, subscribe. We have fun here. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.